Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie, and we got fucked in the future, and that's why we're sitting in the gymnasium with a freaking shitty janitorial cover on the back.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah.
We've got something special planned for our Halloween stuff, and the usual all that we use, it's not going to be available until after the Halloween stuff is over.
That's right.
It's jack-o'-lanterns. So basically, in the future, 2044, time travel exists, but it's even further in the future from 2044. It's 2074. So there's these guys called loopers that work for these gigantic crime syndicates, who are the only ones apparently that can use time travel. And what they do is they send back people that they want to get rid of, they want to dispose of. They send them back to 2044, and these specialized gangsters called loopers dispose of them. They kill them and they dispose of them. That way they can get rid of the evidence they never existed.
Once the hitman, the looper's contract is up, they'll send his future self back to be killed, and they'll get a huge payday, and from that moment on they have 30 years until
they die.
There was an actor in this movie that was bad. Joseph Gordon Levitt especially was just awesome. It's got a tight plot for time travel, which is a hard thing to do. There's one scene specifically that I really liked in it when he's talking to Bruce Willis, and he's like, well, if the typical time travel questions, he's like, well, if you do this here, what does it affect there, and this and that. And I loved what they did here, because Bruce Willis was just like, shut up. He was like, if we try to sit here and figure out this whole time travel thing, and I try to explain everything to you, we're going to be sitting here with like diagrams and straws and all sorts of shit. He's like, so just don't worry about it. It's the way it is, and I can't explain it. And I liked that. It gives an explanation for the whole movie across the board. It covers up a lot of plot holes that would be.
They don't have to struggle because they don't really go in depth in a lot of stuff. They kind of gloss over a lot of the time travel stuff, and they just let the audience figure it out because it's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite performance is Joseph Gordon Levitt in this movie. Like, I think he was friggin' amazing in this movie. And I got to talk about the special effect makeup. They did amazing on. If you've seen the trailers, the way that Joseph Gordon Levitt looks, I mean, it really does. In certain scenes, he really does look like Bruce Willis.
But in the eyes and stuff like that, you're right. Like, even Joseph Gordon Levitt's mannerisms were that of Bruce Willis. You could tell that they were the same thing, and that was really cool.
Joseph Gordon Levitt obviously studied Willis to get that. He even tried to talk like him, which was pretty cool. I wish that Jeff Daniels had a bigger part in it. I like Jeff Daniels, and when he did act his part really well, but it just wasn't. They didn't really go into depth more with him.
And his dialogue and his lines and the script for him was written really well, and Jeff Daniels is a great actor. He did a great job, but I agree with you. I just wish that they could have focused on him a little bit more.
Like, they did a good job showing it being a functional future, and it's not like you don't have like a million floating cars and floating cities and stuff. They've got like normal cars with like a different kind of gas intake and stuff, and you see like a floating vehicle every once in a while, and the buildings look a little bit more, I guess, futuristic-y looking, I don't know. But it still looks like a functional city. It doesn't look like too out of crazy.
It's not overly CGI.
It's not like fucking Mars or something. They didn't really go into a lot of depth on the whole looper thing. Like, they do in a way, but they don't really give. They don't give you enough explanation. Like, I don't understand. Like, if time travel's been invented, right?
Yeah.
Then how come the crime syndicate are the only people with access to it? Why can't anybody else access it? Where's the fucking cops? There's like a billion guns going off, and there's like one cop car that's at the same building with the lights on. It's like a mall cop that sits in the same spot and never does anything.
Yeah, it never moves.
I was like, there's no cops. And I know it's fucking Kansas, but come on.
My main issue with the movie, if I have one, is that there's nobody really to root for. Like I said, Joseph Gordon-Levitt does great, and his character is cool and interesting, but nobody's clean in this movie. There's no one person that you can really get behind, because everybody's motives are kind of crap. And there's an act that Joseph Gordon-Levitt does immediately in the movie where, like, okay, this guy's not, like, he's not a hero. He's not somebody that you can really get behind. He does things in the movie that are bad. He's a criminal. And there's nobody to get behind. There's nobody motives to really get behind. Everybody's a little bit right and a little bit wrong, and it's just kind of, it takes the heart away from the movie a little bit for me.
Where it shows his selfishness. I mean, it shows that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it for himself. He's in it for money. He's in it he doesn't care about killing people, because that's really what these loopers are. They're just killers. They're contract killers.
Yeah.
And he just wants to get his life the best he can do, and he doesn't care how he does it. Like, it doesn't matter to him. But I think it does transform. He does transform towards the end of the movie to become more of a better, to become a better person. But you might be right. Maybe they don't take enough time showing it.
Now, there's a couple of really great action scenes. I do want to say that some of the special effects are great.
Oh yeah.
One scene in particular where you'll know it when you see it, where everything goes kind of slow mo for a second. That was badass.
Yeah.
There's some action scenes with Bruce Willis. One in particular that's really great. I really enjoyed watching that, where he takes on a lot of people at one time. There's a moral issue with something Bruce Willis's character is doing, and I won't give it away, but it bothered me. It really bothered me to an extent. I'm like, so you're just gonna? There's no focusing on this. You're just going to do what you have to do, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you see the movie. And I know he had a reason to do it, but there was just no struggle. It was just like, everybody's an anti-hero kind of, and it was hard for me to get behind that. So it was a great movie. It was well done. The acting was great. I have no major qualms with this movie at all. My heart wasn't really into it. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
It was entertaining. Sometimes it would loop me in. I'd be looped in, and I'd be entertained. Yeah! The story is interesting. It's something that'll keep you hooked. But at the same time, I could close the loop and phase out. And by the way, really quick, at the end of the movie, that's bullshit. They don't have the goddamn courtesy to let you walk out with a badass music score. Like, seriously, the movie ends, and then it's just written and directed by. But it's complete silence. All you hear is fucking, like, wind. Because sometimes when you go see a movie that's badass, like an action pump, you get up and you try to walk badass with the music. You're like, yeah, that's right. And there was nothing to walk out. It was just like wind blowing.
Yeah.
It was like artsy fartsy ending.
Everybody in the theater was kind of like, oh, so which?
Yeah, I was like, I was expecting like fucking flowers to come up and a harp to start playing. I was like, okay. I mean, at least some kind of sound, not wind.
There's no real wow moment. Like, there's no you expect to have your mind blown by something in the story, and it never really happens.
Like, there are some moments in that thing you'll talk about with your friends or stuff. So overall, yeah, I think it's a good film. I think everybody, like I said, if you like time travel movies, if you like those kind of movies, Bruce Willis in it, Joseph Gordon Levitt, you like those guys, you like those action adventure stuff, go see it. I'm gonna give it 7.5 myself.
Question today: what's your favorite time travel movie of all time? I know you'll have an answer to this.
Back to the Future.
Nice. That's a really good
I
one.
got that in my pocket all the time.
I'm gonna say Will T and Gilbert Grape.
Gilbert. I'm Jay. This is Mike. Rate, comment, subscribe. Enjoy. See you guys.
Yeah, we watched a movie. We watched it.